This is task 2 for 7.1. So this is on page 207. Let's get started. Okay, so our problem is that a survey says that 13 out of 20 people have pets. We're going to write this ratio as a percent. So part A, the first step is one way to write a ratio as a percent is to use a table. So this table below right here is a way that we can use a table to represent a percentage. So we're going to complete the table to write equivalent ratios. So this table is going to be full of equivalent ratios of 13 to 20. Okay. Now let's first look at, this should look like review from Ratios and Rates, Module 5. But let's look at this a little bit more carefully. We have 20 to 40. And when we go to 20 to 40, what do? We take 20 times 2, right? We also, this might actually be a little bit easier. So yes, we multiply by 2, but don't we add 20, right? We just add another 20. So if we go from here to here, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go from 13, we're going to add another 13 to make these equivalent. So then what we have here is 26. So 13 to 20 is equivalent to 26 over 40 because the ratios have stayed the same. They've stayed balanced. Because what we did is we multiplied the 20 by 2 and the 13 by 2. But I wrote it here as 20 plus 20 and 13 plus 13 because what we're going to do for the next one is the goal here is that we want to get to 100 here. And if you notice, it's kind of in a pattern. It goes 20 to 40, and then it skips one, it goes to 80, and then 100. So this middle one should be 60 because it goes by 20s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Because we want the bottom to be at 100, right? We already know a percentage is a number out of 100. It's always out of 100. So if we can get this total number of people to be 100, then we can easily write this as a percentage. So we add, each time we do this, we added 20, add 20, and add 20. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to add 13 all the way down. So let's do 26 plus 13 is 39. And then 39 plus 13 is 52. And then plus another 13 is 65. Okay, so for part B, we're going to use the table to write the percent of people who own pets. What is 13/20 as a percent? So a percentage, remember, is a number out of 100. We already have that number right here. This is an equivalent fraction or equivalent ratio to 13 to 20. So what we're going to say here is that our percentage is 65. 65% of people own pets. Okay, and this is because 65/100 is equivalent to 13/20. Okay, C. So you can also use equivalent ratios to find the percent. So we're going to find the percent of 13/20 again, but we're going to use equivalent ratios instead. So this chart, remember, we are starting with 13/20 right here. And then let's look at the bottom because what we want here is to figure out this little guy. That's what we want because we want to know what percent, what number out of 100 is equivalent to 13 out of 20. So we go from 20 to 100. What do we do to the 20 to get to 100? Well, you multiply 20 by 5. And then, because you multiplied the bottom by 5, you have to do the same thing to the top. So then 13 times 5, if you were to do 13 times 5, right? 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So then we would have 65 out of 100, which, just like the part B, we have 65%.